Welcome back, everyone, to the TMI FYI podcast. I am Nat.
I am Claude.
And we will one day get through the intro without giggling.
Like idiots.
But that day is not today. Welcome back, everyone, once again. Claude Pod. How goes it?
Chat. It goes. Had a birthday.
You did. Tell us about it.
It was fun. Got to see some friends I hadn't seen in a while. My daughter planned an awesome little gathering, went ceramic painting.
Yes, I was there.
Yes. And got some really fun gifts, and we painted some fun stuff, and it was cool. And then the next day I spent the day with one of my besties, and we had lunch, and then we went did a little thrift store shopping, which I love to do. One of them may or may not have been a luxury consignment store.
Oh, okay.
Which
so
I
thrift
discovered.
in quotes.
Well, one was super thrift,
okay,
which I loved because I found a really old school cookbook from 1938.
Very cool.
So now I've decided I'm starting to collect those because that's the second one I found. And it said in the postscript that we were in war at that time. At the time of press, we were currently at war, and there was food shortages and this and that, which is very cool not cool to read, but you know what I mean? Like
so cool to be hungry.
Like transporting you back. And I kept thinking, God, I wish I could just go back in time and see like where this book was and who was using it, and
plus
kind of very Leave It to Beavery.
Yeah, and I think it'd be interesting to see what were you guys eating back then?
Yeah.
Like what were the meals?
The recipes, and it's like if you feel the yearning to have a dinner party, and I'm like,
I yearn desperately.
But it's very cool, the pictures and stuff. So now I'm like, I'm going to start hitting the thrift store just to find more of those. I find them fascinating.
That is very
cool.
Now, do you think you will actually make anything?
I don't know. I've looked through them to see if there's actually like these biscuits or cookies called butter sticks, and I'm like, and I'm like, well, what else is in it? No, besides butter?
No, your dog's licking me. It's really licking the
Bo, come here. He thinks you're a butter stick. And so there's butter sticks, and there's a bunch of different. They have a trifle, so I think it might be an English trifle, aka Friend's trifle.
Oh, of course.
And
don't forget the meat.
I found a dish for $10 that's for a trifle. I think that's kismet.
I think the universe.
I think the universe is telling me I need to try that. So maybe by the next taping we'll try one. So that was part of the birthday stuff.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, I found 2 pairs of jeans for $6 each. Thank you.
Ooh.
Yes.
At the thrift store or at the luxury?
No, at the thrift. The thrift. Luxury, there was nothing for $6.
I was going to say.
But even used condition things were phenomenal. Found me a little something there.
Okay.
So it was a great birthday.
Excellent.
And feeling good, and How about you?
Well, I celebrated your birthday.
I mean, what else is there?
I really haven't had much going on. Work, kids.
Lifing. Sometimes our weeks just don't have anything spectacular to.
And also, this makes me sound like such a stereotypical middle-aged lady, but I'm on Weight Watchers right now.
Yeah, well, listen.
And doing Sober October.
Yeah.
And
so we're going to have a little bit of a crying fit today.
Guys, this is seltzer, in case you thought it was something fun.
But it's okay.
It's actually delicious.
It looks fun. It's like,
it is tasty.
A lot of times when I've been trying to like,
cut
same
down.
thing. Well, doing whatever calorie restrictive thing or whatever protein filled whatever, and you're not supposed to have. And I don't handle it as well, as evident probably in our first few podcasts. I used to think I could handle a lot more, and I'm like, maybe by the first one I should probably
call it
taper.
a day.
Well, water it down or something. And sometimes you just want to be holding something with everybody else, and you just want the colorful, put a lemon wedge in it, or and you don't really, you find that you get through the day and you're like, I don't need it. You enjoy it because you feel like, okay, I'm part of the party and I'm having a couple sips of something. But then, like, I don't get the desired effect with just one little. I would need 2 or 3 to feel what I want to feel, and by then you're down that road, and you're like, and
now the next day is a mess. So the other reason I brought it up is just because I haven't been like doing things. Like I'm not going out to dinner, I'm not having drinks, I'm not doing like the whole thing. Now, when I say Sober October, I do want to just say, if you catch me with a drink somewhere, I have a couple events where I'm like, I'm willing to
bend
stretch
it a little bit, save my points.
I'm saving my points, my Weight Watchers points. So.
Which, you get a lot when you do Weight Watchers. So
I don't get that many.
No. But fruit are free. Free fruit.
Free fruit and a lot of eggs.
Yeah. Oh,
eggs
really?
Eggs are also 0 points. So you
There's
can have
egg salad in the fridge my best friend just made.
Yeah, but that has probably
No,
mayonnaise
she does it
and-
healthy-ish.
Sure.
Okay,
Anyway.
well.
Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. And that leads me to my bun twist because I've really been doing nothing but just kind of being on my phone.
Yeah.
And handling my kids' lives and whatnot. And I just want a PSA out there. Like, we need to create some universal rules of engagement around parent chats for school. Because let me tell you what one parent did the other day, which was so egregious that she needs to be kicked out of the school. So she sent a message in the group chat at 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
Well, that alone right
to
there.
wish
Block.
to wish her own child a happy birthday.
Oh.
Now,
Who's not on the chat?
who's not in the chat? No. And so this class chat,
Oh, Jesus.
they do this all the time. So when it's somebody's birthday, they'll send like a photo and a happy birthday message, which is whatever. It's cute, right? And all the parents send a little message to the kid, like whatever. But it's Sunday and it's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's your own child. That is not acceptable. No. That's not okay.
No, it's not. No,
And
have a little respect for everybody else, first of all.
And I actually started counting the messages that I received just today. In my younger son's class, I received over 60 messages today. And then in my older son's, it was like hovering at about 50.
Absolutely.
And this is a slow day.
not. No. Okay, I'm just going to go out there. I don't have a parent chat. I have a sister. And I know she's listening, so I love you, sister. But she knows I don't hide it from her at all. And I tell her, please take me off the group. Nobody likes group chats. Nope, nobody. There go the doggies, by the way. They're about to bark.
I mean, it's a very convenient way to disseminate information, but I don't think anybody wants to be part of an ongoing chat. And mostly because they tend to devolve into nonsense because they were created to give information. But now, like the number of stickers and also the sheer number of stupid questions that people ask, right? So it's like, someone sends an announcement and it'll say, whatever, you have to bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, right? And then immediately someone will be like, but can it be a tuna sandwich? No, it has to be peanut butter and jelly.
What about people with peanut allergies?
What if it's just peanuts? Okay, well, then just peanuts. When is it again? On Wednesday? Nope.
Read
it's
above.
on Tuesday. Literally, read above. And then also, the other thing that bothers me that I don't know if this is true of all chats, but it's certainly true of mine, is that someone will say, when is it again? Tuesday? And then 14 people will say, yes, Tuesday. Yes, it's on Tuesday. And it's like, did you not see
that someone already answered the question?
13 other people?
You see, that's why I can't. You're much nicer. See, I would have said, listen, my child, I can't read English or Spanish. Get me off your group chat. Like, it's exactly that. And it's funny. Well, so my sister loves to do group chats. But then, for instance, she'll create one that's just me, her, and our daughters. Then the next time it's me, her, and my husband, people in the house. Then the next one is me, her, and then all of a sudden, and then she'll title them. And then I'm like, I can't keep track of what we're... And it's all like kind of the same information. So I told her, I love you to death, but no, please don't put me... Yeah. I don't like being on any, even with friends and stuff, because it's the same thing. It's not a constant. Everybody's doing stuff. No one has time to like be chatting all day long. Yeah,
It's not.
That's why, as of last episode, I said voice notes. Take your time responding. I don't need an answer today. I don't, unless I say, hey, let me know by the end of the day if you can. If you have a moment, just shoot me a text or something. But yes, there is something to be said for conversations and whatever, but group chats are...
In a personal capacity, a voice note is great. If these people start leaving me voice chats, I'm going to be very annoyed. I just think schools should start taking more responsibility for just give us the information that we need, get us out of these chats. Why do we need this?
Yeah.
But I can't get out of it because
then
A, I'm the jerk who's out of it, and B, you do miss stuff. So...
I think group chats, when they're that big and they involve that many people. I know that my husband's office at one point had like a chat, and every night it would turn into jokes. They would start with, hey, there's a question about this or this paper or this client or this patient, and then one would throw in a comment, and then the other one would throw in, and then it just became texting till 11, 12 at night, joking. And I'm like, there has to be a cutoff time. You're not at work. If this is like business related, I get it. But then to just be talking shit just to talk.
This is what I mean by universal rules of engagement.
Yeah.
We have to have guidelines. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's my bun twist and
I
my
get it.
boring ass life.
No,
So
not boring, just regular. So
Just
many people are in it with you.
regular schmegular.
Schmegular. So
Okay.
I don't have a bun twist.
Okay.
I'm just agreeing
Yay.
with yours on group chats. And if I
Great.
were involved in that in a school one, there would be a not physical conference, but a face-to-face verbal communication at the next meeting and saying, listen, guys, Or have the teacher say, look, you should send an email once a week with all the upcoming events. And then if there's a coordinator in the room that needs to coordinate those things. But like,
That's how it should be.
it should.
Anyway.
Anyway,
So today, what are we talking about? We are talking about nothing related to chats. We are talking about our good friend, Imposter Syndrome. And if you are not familiar with this, God bless you.
which, I didn't know that that's what it was called. So I would have to be a semi-asterisk,
Yeah.
hand raiser on that one. Like,
But once
I
we
thought it was something else.
Once we describe it, I think a lot of people will relate. So if you have heard of it, then you probably are like, yay, finally, someone's going to talk about it, right? I'm sure you are.
I'm sure nobody has brought this up.
Nobody
but
has
it's okay.
tackled this topic before. So we're here to do that for you. So if you're not familiar with imposter syndrome, it's that feeling of no matter how successful you are, no matter how many accolades you collect, no matter how many wins you have, you never feel like you know what you're doing. You never feel like it's the result of your own talent and hard work and effort. You feel more like, oh, I just got lucky. Oh, I don't know why. It's just the way the universe worked out. And you feel like a fraud. And you feel like any minute now, someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and be like,
Say the gig is up.
I know that you don't know anything. And you're going to be
Yeah.
like, found out.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. And it apparently, according to the research, an estimated 70% of people will experience this at some point. So it is pervasive.
So it does. Okay. So it doesn't really pertain to any particular age bracket or.
So my guess is that it would probably affect people who are slightly older just because you have more
Experience.
you have more accomplishments under your belt to then look back and say, well, but that's not because I'm smart or good. That's because
Right. That's just because I've been here long enough.
I knew so-and-so and this person helped me. And I would imagine, I don't know. This is my hypothesis.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's people even in a younger bracket that just, maybe in their 20s, let's say, who are trying to get that first big job or the second one, or have to like fake it till you make it, as they say, and you have to pretend, or you have to color things a little. And then does that put you in a position where,
I think so.
man, now I got to back it up? And, I don't know.
Well,
I used to think, I don't know, maybe there's people out there that think like for me, imposter syndrome was more like, maybe it's the same, but like being something you're not, or having to keep up with the Joneses, or living a life that's outside what you're really capable, or should be, or overspending over this, or just to be a part of everybody else, the keeping up with the Joneses, trying to fit in.
I think that's just being an imposter.
A poser.
You're just a poser. I think it could be related, right? I guess depends on the motivation for why you're doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But going back to your earlier question, I do think young people can experience that too, actually. And I think there's probably a lot that goes into how you're raised and your upbringing that can feed into that. And you mentioned my least favorite piece of advice, which is fake it till you make it. I hate that advice.
Yeah.
And I think that it works for things like you're hungover and now you have to go to this meeting. Like, yes, pretend you're not hungover. Please fake it. Like
Till you make it through.
Yeah, till you make it through. Like in those instances, I would say that that advice is good. But I think it just perpetuates this idea that I'm faking it. I don't know anything.
Right.
And because you're so busy faking it, you won't ask questions and actually learn something. If someone says something to you and you're like, yes, like the POD reports, of course.
Yeah,
and that, like,
got them right here, back pocket.
And you're like, I don't know what the fuck a POD report is.
Yeah.
And rather than being like, oh, I'm not familiar, what's a POD report? You're like, yeah, got it right on top of that, Rose.
Yeah.
and I just think it's a missed opportunity And yes, you can go back to your desk and Google it or whatever.
Yeah. Skippy, could you bring me those papers? Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's a missed opportunity to learn something, to ask, to connect with someone. To me, it's just a shitty piece of advice. And it's been given out far too long.
Yeah.
For far too long. So.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if there's any people, I wonder how many people actually still believe in that fake it till you make it. Maybe.
I hear it all the time.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
All right.
People say it all the time. And I just think there's a place for it. But I think that if you do it enough times, it's going to make you
believe
feel
that you're
like
never,
that you don't actually know it.
Yeah.
And you do. And I'll tell you this story. So I had this happen to me just in the last week. Now, again, middle-aged lady, been in my career for like 20 years. I know things, right? But every now and then I get tricked into being like, bitch, you don't know shit. So I was talking to a partner who came to me for advice on how to deal with an associate.
Oh.
And so I gave him my thoughts. And I was like, here's what I think you need to do. Now, it was very clear that he did not like this piece of advice.
Yeesh.
And he was like, just from his responses, I could tell that he was not super receptive, and he was kind of pushing back a little, like, well, why would I do that when like this, that, and the other? And I was like, well,
then why'd you come to me?
Yeah,
Isn't that my job?
But I didn't think that. I started,
You questioned your advice.
I questioned myself, and I was like, I hung up from that call, and I was like, maybe he's right. Like, is there something that I don't know that I wasn't thinking of? Like, man, here I am thinking I know what I'm doing, but he's the businessman partner who's like 15 years older than me. He's smarter than me. He probably knows things that I don't know. And I spent the whole weekend being like, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. And like really kicking myself. Well, come Monday, I get a call from a different partner who he had spoken to. And he's like, hey, I spoke to partner so-and-so. He told me you suggested this. And I just wanted to tell you, like, that was the exact right advice. So, like, how do we do that? And it was such a validation. And it shouldn't need to come externally.
Right.
But it did. And it just reminded me to stop doubting myself so fucking much. Like,
yeah, but it's so hard.
It's so hard.
I don't know why. I don't know why we do. I mean, you and I were, chit-chatting earlier. And even in something, I've had several different quote unquote careers, from being a paralegal to office manager to getting my vet assistant certificate, even though I never actually did it as a job. But I'm just saying, it's different things I've learned, and now doing cookies and stuff. And just in that, I mean, like I said, sometimes it was, oh my God, I don't want to eat them. They're so pretty. And I'm proud of some of them. A lot of them. Some of them I'm like, I could have done better. But when someone says, oh my God, you're an artist, and I immediately, it's like my skin crawls. I'm like, I am not an artist, because in my head, an artist is, you wake up and you like have these visions, like, I'm going to do this, and you paint and you create things without, no, I need guides. I need visual tools. I need, like inspo. I need to look at things that will trigger that. But to me, in my mind, an artist is something, something that's inherent. So you wake up and you just, you're an artist. And I've had to work at mine.
You've set a very high standard for what an artist is, and you're not in it. And you also said something else in that conversation that I was like, classic imposter syndrome, which is, I said to you, like, why do you think people order your cookies? Like, if it's not that they're wonderful and that you're so talented, why do they order them? And you're like, I don't know. They believe the hype. Like,
that's exactly, because I'm like, oh, the pictures are good. My social media at the time, I'm like, she posts great stuff, or or that was a really good set, or, and then, but at the same time, when they say that or they compliment me, I feel like it puts more pressure even. I'm like, oh my God, now their expectation is going to be, what they want is more difficult. And I create this whole thing. I'm like, it's never going to be good enough. They want pictures. Can you send me pictures before they're, I'm like, oh, I don't want to send pictures. Cause then what if the response is, oh, so pretty, whatever. Since in text you can't read tone, you can't, right. So and you're like, well, did they just say that because they don't really like it, or they have been more excited if I don't like to do that, because then the expectation of the response becomes the validation. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love those. Or, oh, those are cute. Send me when they're finished. And I'm like, they're almost finished. That's pretty much it. Okay. So, it does. It creates, and then I feel like there's this expectation to create something jaw-dropping. And I'm like, okay, they're cookies. Like they're each handmade, and they're each going to be a little different unless they're printed ones. You know, they're not going to come. The wheels on the bicycle are not going to look the same on every bicycle.
Well,
they're freehand circles. You draw a freehand circle.
Well, I saw those and they look super cute. But and I guess in looking at why we do this, you're bringing up something that I think is part of the reason is that there's a bit of like a perfectionist culture expectation. Social media in particular has created or exacerbated, I should say, didn't create it, but has exacerbated this need for everything to be so perfect and
that it's going to look perfect. And that, you know, they see a picture of something, they're like, I want that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Call that person and get it from them because.
Well, that, and we're only seeing we've touched on this in other contexts, but we're only seeing people's highlight reels. Like we're seeing the best that everybody has to offer. And so when you are in the shit and working on things that are maybe a little messy or not perfectly right, you start to think that it's because you suck. They know what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing except for you. But guys, if 70% of us are feeling like we don't know what we're doing, guess what? Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, when people say know your worth or put the value on something, there's another thing I question too. Like over time, my prices have gone up, not only because the product has also increased. Like, you know, butter used to be something. Now it's, you know, I used to get the eggs, the amount I bought was like $6.99. Then at some point they went up to $15 when we had that whole egg.
Yes. Debacle.
They went up to $15 for 30 eggs. I was, holy shit, I'm really going to have to. Now they're back down to like $8. So they're kind of close to where they used to be. But, you know, I didn't really adjust my prices to reflect that because I don't, you know. People aren't they're cookies. People at some point are going to say, okay, I'm not paying that for, I get it. And that's why I kind of taper like what I design and whatever. I question sometimes when people say how much for this or how much for that. I usually direct them and say, well, you can go to the website and it's on there because I don't want to discuss sometimes saying what the price, I feel like,
yes.
But you know, if you're ordering a custom design, you feel like you're ripping them off. I know they're, quote, just cookies.
No, okay, but it takes a lot. My mom has this problem too.
Yeah, Publix is just cookies, and they do a great fucking job. And I love Publix cookies, but they have 27 ovens and 50 people doing it. Yeah. That's why they can charge $1 a cookie. I can't do that.
My mom struggles with this very same thing. My mom is a cake maker, and she spends hours. I mean, this is like meticulous work, but she always feels bad charging for it. And I'm like, hey man, that's like time you're spending away from your family, time spending away from picking your butt if that's what you want to do.
Really, anytime I have a heavy workload like span, my body, which is why I've honestly had to cut back to make it my arms, my forearms and my hands fall asleep every single night. I have to sleep with braces, super sexy, on my forearms and like the carpal tunnel thing because they fall asleep throughout the night and I wake up constantly shaking my hands. My lower back, we just went to go buy a chair, like relax the back, like luxury, you know, space age chair because I get up and I can't sleep because of the positions you sit in.
Pay the prices for the
and
cookies.
It's like, yeah, you want the design, whatever, and I'm happy to do it. But now I've gotten much better at saying this is the price. And if they don't like it, then that's fine. I understand it. You have a certain amount allotted for this. Perfect. I have a certain amount that I'm willing to work for as well. And I don't.
Totally feel you. Now, there is a question. Now, I think I have read in the past, and I don't know if it still holds true, and I don't even know if it is true, that women experience this more than men. And I think there might be something to that just because I do think women are held to higher standards and judged more harshly when they do make mistakes. I also, though, think a lot of men feel this way too. I just don't think they're as
expressive.
I just don't think they'll admit it.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that men, there's a lot of very overconfident men out there.
We could definitely ask that. Because we promised, I know we've been saying we're going to have a guest, but I think in our next episode, we're finally going to have a man or several to discuss a few of the things that we've been wanting to ask. But I would think that maybe even in their career, I would think that the bro code or whatever, that they would ask you, hey man, do you know what this is, whatever, and maybe like feed off each other, maybe get advice from other. No,
they might.
I know that my husband goes to lunch with one of his friends, and when he was still practicing law, they would get together and say, oh my God, I have this, and you know, kind of bat the ideas around. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's just like I'm looking for advice or like I am asking because I don't
have no idea.
I have no idea, right? Like maybe it's just I don't know. I think they might struggle with it too. But it's mostly high achieving people that they find this in.
Really?
And they find it a lot in like first generation people. Like if you were, me, for example, I'm the first lawyer in my family, right? So it's when you're the first in something, there's this added pressure to perform, to
know
be
more,
great,
to-
to know
right.
more, to be more. And so people in those situations tend to experience this more than others. And there are some professions that bring it out more. Like law is one that, God, I mean, it's created the most mentally unstable group of people. Like it's awful because they do expect you to be perfect. And so you have to always be like on in a way that is just not healthy.
That's, I think I would have to agree. And I think women probably, again, talking out of opinion here of what I would think. I'm just
Out
saying
my
no.
ass.
No, right? I'm just saying right. I think because women take on several roles. We have even if we're career women and we're working, if you're involved in the school, if you're involved in coaching, after school you're coaching kids, I signed up to be a volleyball coach, having never played volleyball in my life at the rec center, at the youth center, because there was a wait list because they didn't have enough coaches. And that was the only way my daughter was going to get on a team or whatever. And I said, I'll do it. I had coached soccer before, little kids. So I called my husband. I go, by the way, we're coaching volleyball. So please look up he was thrilled. So I became his assistant coach and we coached for the next 4 or 5 years. So it was wonderful.
Okay.
But yeah, I signed up. I didn't know what I was doing. I faked it till we made it.
Well, see, that's very growth mindset oriented.
Little kids, they didn't know, and no other parent was stepping up to do it at the time. So we did it, and the kids loved it, and we loved it. It turned out great.
Well, I find that often when you take a chance on something that you're scared to do because of imposter syndrome or other reasons, it always ends up working out.
Yeah.
And you end up learning a lot and it ends up being a worthwhile thing. And kind of going back, I mentioned just a second ago, like that was very growth mindset oriented, but it actually is, which is like this, the growth mindset is just like the mindset of I can learn things, and just because I don't know something doesn't mean I'm never going to learn it, or I'm not
Right.
smart enough to learn it.
Or I should have learned it before.
I
but
could learn
yeah.
anything, and
Yeah.
I just if I study and I apply myself, I can learn anything, and I can make myself smarter. And I think that and part of that, by the way, is how you instill growth mindset in people is how you praise them. And so I think a lot of this also comes from how we praise our kids, right? When you tell someone like, "Oh, you're so smart," that puts a label in my mind of I'm smart. So I have to appear smart at all times. Whether I do know it or I don't know it, I'm smart. And I can't do anything that brings down the facade of smart. Or you're creative. So now I have to be creative.
Oh, when I
the
played
time.
piano as a child, that you're absolutely right. As you say that, I'm like being triggered. Like, yes, you're a PTSD. My dad made me take piano lessons from the time I was, 5.5 or 6 started. And
For background, her father was a musical composer.
yes,
like,
and orchestras and whatever.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't know that at 5 or 6. He's
Of course
just dad. And he would sit there next to me and like I couldn't do anything as I got older because I stopped after he passed away. So I was 13 or 14 when I completely stopped. But just knowing that I could not go outside, I couldn't do anything until I got my 1 or 2 hours of practice every single freaking day. Okay. So I grew to hate the piano. But when I was young and like 7, 8, 9, that I started doing recitals and stuff, it was nonstop. Oh, you're so talented. Oh my God. Did you listen to her play? I was like the trick pony every time
Yes.
people came over, sit down, listen to what she can play. I'm like, you gotta be shitting all the time. So I grew to hate, but it was, you're so talented. Oh my God. And playing Bach and all that stuff at 8. What 8-year-old wants to be playing classical music? And you're like, oh, this sucks. Like,
well, you just unlocked a memory for me around this, right? Because I used to play piano also, but I wanted to. That was a choice.
Oh.
I wanted to play piano desperately. So my mom put me in piano lessons. And I have a musical ear. I just do. And
a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, thank you. But I did really well by listening to the melody, and then I could just reproduce it.
Oh my
Now here's the
God.
problem. I wasn't learning how to read the notes. I could read them very basically, but the music was getting more complex. The note compositions were getting more intricate. And I was not learning by the notes anymore. I was learning by watching and listening. But I didn't want to tell anybody that I didn't know because they were so impressed by me. You're so good. Oh, wow.
I used to read notes. I had to because I would get like a gold star or like a big fat F, and the piano teacher twice left like pissed off. So piano lesson day for me, it was diarrhea. It was
not a good
pacing, nervous because, when she got mad and, and she had red hair and freckles. And I remember thinking, ooh, she's wearing the black outfit today. Oh my God.
We're sorry, redheads. We love you.
No, yeah, I know. But it was bad. She was a former nun. Let's just go there.
Okay.
But it was, having known how to read notes, now I look at them and I only know like C, and you forget it. So when you have the talent like you, that you can hear it and play it, that stays with you because that's something from within.
Sure, but I just mean like I never wanted to tell anyone that I can't read the notes. I never told my family. I never told the teacher.
Okay. Like they're getting the memo today.
Hi. I never learned how to read music, but it was why was that, right? Because I was like I got labeled as talented at piano. You're so good at piano. And now I was like, okay, well now I can't tell them that I don't actually know. And so again, what a missed opportunity to actually learn. So these are the ways, even as a young kid, that you just you miss it. So I think the lesson here is
just be mindful.
Be careful what you tell your kids and how you praise
and
them.
you have to be so careful with everything. It sounds like we repeat ourselves from last time from, gentle parenting or whatever. Obviously whatever works for you, but you also kind of have to be on the side of your children. What think back if there's anything in your life, like we are right now as we're talking, of feeling the pressure of someone telling you're good at this or you're not good at this. You give this up. Like for me, even myself with algebra, oh my God, algebra, it's my nemesis still to this day. I could go beyond
I'm sure
it.
it comes up a lot in your life, right?
Listen.
No, it doesn't.
Listen, Linda. Okay. Well,
Linda, when do you use algebra as an adult?
There are times. I'm sure.
There are zero times. You're such a liar.
I don't know. It just gave me phobia. I'm math phobic. And I loved math until then. Then it was like this thing that I had to take it 3 times in community college just because I just couldn't get past the exams. And it was this thing, this. And the last time that I was allowed to take it, as they told me, you've taken this now 3 times. I'm like, fuck my life.
Ma'am,
we need you out.
We need that seat.
You've got Ghana's growing. We need that seat for children that really want to learn. People, the man put the exam down. I think I've talked about this. And I just started, the tears just started. And I'm like, if I don't pass this fucking test. And then he was at the front. And as you handed it, he would grade it and give you your grade. So you would know. Yeah. And I'm like this, crying as he's paying. I go, please don't let him see me because he's going to look at me and go, what is your problem? Thank God I passed by a half point, 70.5.
Good job.
But I have trauma. Like you say algebra, and I like.
You even make up stories that you use it today. But I
become a liar.
Yeah, you turn into a liar. But no, I think this is not gentle parenting. These are just subtle shifts in how you communicate. Yeah. But if you were to say, just think of when your kid presents a picture to you, rather than saying like, oh my God, that's so pretty, you're such a good artist, you're so talented. Maybe you could just say, oh my gosh, that's so pretty, I really like how you chose these colors, and it seems like you put a lot of work into this, right? And it just sends the subtle message that it's not that you did this because you're good at it and either you have it or you don't, but more so it's because I tried, and that's what makes it good. Right. And if you go through life with that mentality, I think you're less likely, maybe not to escape this entirely, but you're less likely to experience it so deeply.
Well, and then the little caveat there is that, you're not the only person in your kid's life. So there may be a teacher, a so-and-so, whatever, that's constantly saying, oh, you're so good at this. I remember my daughter told us stories about her art teacher. Oh my God, I wish we could sit her down right now because those stories make me laugh. She goes, oh, hate her. And I'm like, why? And she goes, yeah, she used to tell them, you suck. Well, don't even bother. She would tell them, like, that is so ugly. Just start over. And I'm like, what? Why didn't you tell me this back then? I would have gone into that school.
That's me as an art teacher.
I'm not even going to, I think I remember her name.
Well, don't say it.
No, I'm not going to. But I remember she would just come back like horribly, just brokenhearted. Like she didn't want to take art anymore. And I'm like, okay, that is completely the opposite
that's
of
not
what you're
okay.
going to.
Yeah, that is not instilling growth mindset in anyone.
No.
But, okay, so here's some common signs in case you are wondering, do I have this? If you haven't gotten...
You're driving now going, am I an imposter?
So discounting achievements, we talked about that.
Yes, I'm guilty of that.
Oh,
100%.
I am super guilty of this next one. Over preparing to compensate. Now, when I'll give you an example. I have a presentation that I'm doing on Thursday. I have been rehearsing this since last week, and I will do it like multiple times a day. I will rehearse it, and I will.
But that's good. That's preparing.
But it's over preparing, right? Because there's preparing, and then there's like
me.
there's me, and I'm doing it more so because I'm so afraid of fucking it up. It's not even like, oh, I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. No.
Is it in front of strangers or coworkers or?
It's coworkers.
Okay, so
nice
they know
coworkers.
They know your abilities already.
Yes.
Like if you screw up, you just laugh it off, and everything's just gonna go.
And when I used to go to court, oh my god.
Oh, court.
When I used
That's
to go
scary.
to court and I used to have to argue motions, I could not sleep the night before.
No, I can get it.
I used
totally
to
understand
chain
that.
smoke cigarettes on the way to the courthouse. I mean, like I would chain smoke them. I would put my headphones in and I would pretend that I was talking to someone, but really I was just practicing my argument.
Wow.
So if anybody was walking by, they'd be like, what the fuck is this girl talking about?
Nowadays, no, because everybody's looks like a crazy person talking into their earbuds.
But it was like, Your Honor. But like, it was
Yeah.
just like putting myself, even the simplest thing, like putting my name on the record. I was like rehearsing it over and over so that I didn't get it wrong. I mean, beyond like it's a mental illness at that point. It's not and so
Therapy bound.
If you do that, you may have imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Well, but that's good signs because I'm telling you, I didn't really understand the correct meaning of it, and I'm definitely guilty of that first one in every aspect of my life. Like my husband's constantly, I think he's just tired at this point of complimenting me or saying something because every time he says something, but oh, your hair looks good like that. Yeah, but the layers are too short. I don't like it short.
Yeah, you do that a lot, actually.
For everything. And it was pointed out to me a couple times. And I'm trying to do better by it. I'm trying to, oh, you look good. Your arms look toned. You've been working out more. But look at this right here. And I have to point out the thing that's not good to like, and that isn't and I've noticed, you're right. I do it with everything. That's not good.
No. Okay, so now let's move on to, what do we do about it? What do we do about it, bitches?
Okay, so tell me.
Okay, so number one, you're going to name it to tame it. You have to notice it. Like when those thoughts start coming into your head, you have to literally say to yourself, no, this is my imposter syndrome talking. Like you have to talk it down. Like you just have to recognize it's happening if you want to do anything about it at all. So that's number one.
Oh, that's
name
hard.
it to tame it.
See, to me, that would be like, you know what it is? I'm going to side note that because maybe other people feel this too. If you're recognizing that you do this, maybe it's, well, if I accept that, I feel like I'm being conceited. Like I'm being, oh, yeah, you're right. I am talented. Like, that to me seems obnoxious.
It does feel icky, but like you have to also, I think you know, if you were really honest with yourself, you know when something is totally undeserved, like you're getting credit for something you didn't do.
Right.
Or something that like you had nothing to do with, or like, you know, when it's that versus I'm just uncomfortable with this.
Right.
So I think if you're just uncomfortable, but you did make the pretty cookie and you did get your hair blow dried nice and you did put hours in the gym to tone your arm, then you just have to
just the one arm.
Just the one. Just this one. Okay. Just this one.
That was awesome. I love that. That made me laugh out loud. LOL.
If you know that happened, then that is the good sign.
Right.
It's your imposter syndrome. Now, if they complimented you for something, again, that like you...
That's totally like, okay, you're bullshitting.
Yeah, like that I had nothing to do with that. Then you can wipe it away. But otherwise, then you say, oh, I feel uncomfortable. That's my imposter syndrome talking. And just...
That's a good one.
And normalize it that everyone goes through this. Remember the stat, 70% of people, you are not alone. This is not you that are broken. This is everyone. And then
That's a collective.
yes. And then just, reframe it in your mind. Like, this is what it is. And
Damn, maybe I have gotten good at this.
yeah, like, well, thank you for noticing. I actually have been working really hard at that. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm going to just stick you in my pocket and take you everywhere. And when someone says, I'm going to go, listen to her.
Well, here's another one. Here's another tip. And I give this one to my associates all the time.
Okay.
And this is really more for work related, I think. But a lot of times at work, we tend to discount our accomplishments and things that we do. Keep an accomplishment folder. If somebody sends you an email that says, hey, great job on this.
Oh.
Or if somebody got a really good piece of feedback, you had a nice interaction, you got an award, you won, in my case, like lawyers, you win a motion, you closed the deal, you got a new contract, you got a new order. Put it in a little folder. And when you start to talk shit to yourself about yourself, go to the folder. And just start reading
That's a great
it.
idea.
And remind yourself that, like, you know what? Some people think I'm actually pretty good.
I've gotten some really great texts. Oh my God, these were beautiful. They were, and
Pin them.
they always make me feel so good. Yeah,
Pin them.
I need to.
When you start getting into that shitty place of like, I'm not talented, I'm not an artist, go back and read that text and be like, no, I actually made somebody's day brighter.
Yeah.
Somebody does think I'm an artist.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Yes. And then there's doing what we're doing now, just venting, talking to other people. Because
Get a friend.
Get a friend, hire a therapist. But when you talk to someone about it, I think it normalizes it, right? Because just sitting here talking.
And you have to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Because people think, therapy, but therapy is only as good as your honesty.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go
garbage
in there and
garbage
bullshit.
out.
And they know. But you've got to be willing to really maybe say the thing that makes you uncomfortable or be really honest with yourself. And if it's a shitty thing, you're like, well, yeah, maybe it is a shitty,
Yeah.
You might have to admit something you don't really like about yourself or you don't like that you're thinking or doing. And that's what it's for. It's not to like gloss it over and make it like, I don't really know why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
You know. But even if you're talking like with your girlfriends or whoever, right? Like, even just us sitting here talking about it, we have normalized for each other, like, oh yeah, that happened to me too, or 100%. I felt that too. And that can make it feel less isolating and less like this secretive thing that you're holding on to of like, I suck. Like, no, you don't.
No, it really, I'm telling you, before we started today, I even said, what does that really, really mean? I had no idea. And now that's what it is. And one more thing I'm going to pay attention to.
One more thing
A little
add.
more. It seems that that's all I'm doing these days is really focusing in on it.
And another thing that my therapist did help me with this, but I've just in other like training
Collective
sessions and things that
okay.
I've done. Yeah. Like you have to talk back to your thoughts sometimes and be like, is that really true? And you have to take your thoughts to court. That's what we used to call it in my psychology class, where if you say to yourself, like, so for example, this has happened to me. This is a real life example where there was a meeting that was amongst like leadership at the firm that I felt like I probably should have been invited to because they were talking about stuff that I do, but I was not invited. And my first thought was, oh, they don't take me seriously. Like they think I'm like dumb and I'm just here like as a placeholder thing.
Yeah.
And I was going on and on in my head why they didn't invite me. Now, I had to stop and take the thought to court. Like, okay, they don't trust you or they don't take you seriously. And then I had to like, what evidence do I have for that? Really none. Because actually they give me a lot of responsibility. And I started like Exhibit A, they put me in charge of this. Exhibit B, they made me do this and that. And I started going through all the ways that what I was telling myself was just factually not true. And now, did I believe myself at the end? Like, not 100%. I still had a little sting about it, but like it also removes that. It kind of just equalizes it, not equalizes it. It brings down the temperature a little bit, and you start to say like, well, that's just my feelings talking.
Right.
That's not really true.
Did you ever find out? Did they ever say?
They never told me why, but honestly, as I thought more about it, I was like, I think they were also just talking about a lot. My thing was touched upon. That wasn't the point of the meeting.
Right.
And they were talking about other things that were probably above my pay grade, and they kept it very small. And so I got out of my feelings, and
You got out of your own way.
I got out of my own way. I got out of my feelings. I got down to the facts, and I felt better about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that running whatever.
Yeah,
So,
we are sometimes our own worst enemies, man.
We sure
We
are.
really are.
Now, guys, I have more to say about this. I could talk about this for days, but we're not going to.
No, probably not.
We're
I
gonna
think
cut it off.
Am I going to do one of these?
Yes, let's do our card.
I'm going to dive into the dark.
Dive into the dark side.
You know, it is fall. I can't grab a card. Okay.
Okay, what do we got?
Let's see. Let me read. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go with it.
Shit.
Ready?
Go. I'm scared.
No. What's the least useful skill you possess?
No, that's pretty useful.
I know, right?
My least
useful
skill.
We could also marinate on that one. Let's
I
see.
need to think about that. I'm sure I have a useless skill somewhere.
Okay. Well, that's a good one too. Let's see. All right. What grown-up problem were you least prepared for when you entered adulthood? I know for you, budgeting.
No. I mean, I was pretty bad at budgeting. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I got one.
Okay, go.
For me,
You go.
adulthood really, for me, was a lot of also relationship because I was in a relationship
Yeah.
So for me, adulthood meant that, like being a grown up in like an actual relationship. And to me was conflict resolution. Learning how to stay and talk it out or scream it out, or rather than walk out and just say bleh and be out
Right.
and slam the door and I'll be back later.
Yeah.
I was very much in the habit of doing that. I was a punk, when I was in your early adulthood, you think that's how you do. I'm going to make a statement, and and staying and figuring out, and also learning that you can't unring a doorbell, like not saying something for effect of hurting or saying because it feels good to get the dig and whatever, and then when the conflict's resolved, then you realize I said some things that can't take them back because
No.
even in the moment of
No.
anger, you said them, you were thinking them. You even if you worked on saying it just for the effect of hurting,
No, it doesn't matter.
it still came from
Yeah.
somewhere, and there's something underlying. So, Mark, measure your words because
Yes.
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, man.
You cannot.
can't.
And you know what? I think the universe is trying to send me a message around this because I read the Daily Stoic every day. It's this book that has every day there's like a lesson that's rooted in Stoicism as a philosophy. And I just had this one the other day that
Really?
words that better to trip over your feet than your tongue is the philosopher version of it. But it was the same thing, like what you say cannot be unsaid. And I whenever I read these, I try to think about like my own life and how I can apply it. And I struggle with this. I have a cutting fucking tongue.
So do I, and it feels so good.
It feels so good to let it out.
But then I've learned now sometimes when I think I want to say something hurtful, I think, oh, that's a shitty. Like now I check myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. Like now I feel bad if I were to say that.
Of course.
So because thank God. You grow,
You
and
mature.
you mature, and you just realize, what am I really going to get out of, like, and if it's towards somebody that you love or that's important to
Yeah.
you, like how bad do you
It's not
really
worth
want it?
it.
It's not worth it. Like
not worth
it's
it.
so much more worth it to resolve whatever it is and to articulate what I want to say. Like now,
Like a big girl.
Yes, and it's become, I've grown up into where I say, give me some time. Like I'm mad,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say something just to say it and be spiteful, because then my husband or whoever, I don't fight like that with my daughter, but it's only been with us or my sister or one of my brothers, whatever.
Anyone.
That you can, you can get nasty and you think, I don't want to do that to them. Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
I want you to understand my point and listen to what I'm saying. That's not going to happen if
No.
I'm spewing
No,
venom.
Absolutely not. So that's
it
a good
feels
one.
good.
It does feel so good. That's a good one. I think you're probably right. Budgeting money just was bad. Bad. Listen to, if you don't
It
know what we're
still
talking
is.
about,
Yeah.
go back to, we have 2 episodes that we did actually on finances. So you can go back and listen to some of the adventures of Nat and
navigate money.
how to circumvent
How to
the
lose it.
system, how to
Get
downgrade your
$500 a month with a new credit card.
Yeah, shut up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you'll have to go
I
back
love-
and listen to
Yeah,
figure
that
out
was
what that
fun.
means. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. So
Yeah.
please leave us comments, send us an email. What's our email
If
address
anything
again?
made you laugh,
ask us at tmifyipodcast.com. I should have known that.
you can comment. And it'd
Leave
be
us a
great.
comment.
Even just a positive feedback would be great. Or-
Yeah. Give us something for our folder so that we can look
Yeah.
back and say we are good podcast
Yeah,
hosts.
we have, sometimes we're a little saucier, sometimes we're vanilla.
But
sometimes,
give us something,
yeah,
people.
something. Or topics.
And give us a rating. Rate us. Give us
Oh,
a
is there?
5-star rating.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yes.
do all the things, and catch us on all of the socials and all the platforms where you listen to podcasts. And we will see you again next week.
We'll be back.
Goodbye, folks.
Have a good one.
Cheers.